Hi, this is Jeff Tingey, Director of Athletics, Idaho State University, for another installation of my weekly podcast. We're doing things different this week. We are on location in Turner Hall on the campus of Idaho State University in our new and improved study hall for our student athletes. I've got Matt Steuart, our Director of Academics, with me, and Phil Pleasant, our Assistant Director of Academics. Guys, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it.
We've never done this before, never gone on location, but this place is so nice. It looks so good. Not that it looked bad in the first place before the renovation, but it looks so much better now. It reminds us that we always need to keep improving our facilities, and this is one of them. Since I've got you guys, let's dive right into that. How did the change come about? What was the reasoning? What was the thought process? How did we get here, and how did it actually happen?
Well, I think, just to talk about it, we talked about it a little before we went on the air. Originally, this was just 3 rooms, and we had always thought, how can we improve it? We managed to get a grant from the NCAA and made it like a pretty good space. And then Phil, we're always wanting to make it better and better and better. And so last fall, Phil was able to secure another grant to update it even more and to just do some slight touches to it to make it a really student-friendly place.
Anything to add to that?
No, I couldn't agree more. Just wanted to keep the space updated, keep adding new additions. We did the new paint down here, we did the new carpet, just to keep things fresh. We knocked down the wall just to open up the space. And that helps from everything, just to help the students kind of have that cohesive environment, an open environment for them. It makes things better with the lighting, with the airflow, ventilation, and things like that. So really just a study-friendly environment for them.
Yeah. Start to finish, what was the process length?
Process length, so actually it was a pretty quick process. We expected to get the grant in at the beginning of June, but we actually got it halfway through July. So we wanted to have it open by the second week of school, by August 28th, so we kind of just went full speed there in conjunction with the housing staff, who were huge in helping us get this done. The first thing we did is we came down here, Matt and I, we took out all the computers, just all those little things there. Took out all the computers, we stored all those different things, and then we started working on the paint. We started doing the paint first. That took us a while. That probably took, let's say, about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get all the paint done and dry and set up like how we wanted. The housing staff knocked down the wall, and that really helped us out. And then the carpet went in there after that. And then it just was a lot of little things. We replaced all the beams that are underneath the tables here, just to open up leg room for all the students there. Got rid of some of the dividers that we had just to keep the whole space open for everybody. So we got it done in about a month, in I'd say 2 weeks, when we were expecting to have closer to 3 months to do it. So it went by pretty fast. So.
Yeah.
Also, since you shouted out the housing staff, which they were awesome to work with us on this, but Coach Merkley was down here, our head track coach, painting with us a couple times. So we had, anybody that was around and we would ask, they would just come down here and help us, which was super huge because it's a lot of work for 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came down a few times in the middle of the construction process to find, Phil with power tools, and you guys were going after it, and I thought, I don't even know how to do that. Did you just kind of, you knew how to do it beforehand, or it was trial by error, or?
Some things were trial by error, but a lot of stuff, I just know how to do on my own. I like to do some craft things, but I think a lot of just really small, tedious tasks, like, with the outlets for the internet and stuff like that. That stuff took a really long time for us to do, and move power cables out of the line just so we can do certain things. So it wasn't bad. It was a pretty simple process, and with housing, they gave us a lot of tools and some things that we got ourselves just to kind of speed up that process with the timing of the grant and not be able to utilize other people to help with it. So, we just stepped up and did a lot of it ourselves. So It came out really well.
So this facility, which is for our student athletes to come and study, to use the computer, to print things out, and all of the computers are brand new, so they're top of the line. They've got the newest programs, and it gives them good opportunities. How many students do you have that come in and use it on a week-by-week basis?
So week-by-week basis, I'll say it fluctuate with teams' travel schedules. Right now, I say we have 100 students utilizing the study hall. Freshmen, sophomores, first semester transfers that are down here. I think it goes really well. I'd say it fluctuates by week. The first 2 weeks, really students are getting used to the schedules. Everybody used to like to come at 6 o'clock, but we really kind of educate them on taking advantage of the hours are from 10 to 10 Monday through Thursday. So if you can come in between classes and stuff like that, taking advantage of the spot. And so it really helps out with that flow there. The nights get a little bit more busy, so that's why we bring 2 monitors down there just to kind of help with overseeing everything. But it's just a constant flow throughout the day. You know, sometimes you'll walk down here at 10 o'clock and there's a couple students waiting for you, or sometimes you might not see anybody until 11. So just depending on the day, really the flow is different.
And this study facility is kind of set aside for underclassmen and new transfers, right? Freshmen and sophomores and new transfers. Help them have a place. They may not be familiar with campus. They're trying to understand practices at the university. And I think it's worked out. Eventually, to all of our Bengal fans out there, eventually we need to build an academic center, a standalone building. You know, it may be part of a practice facility, it may be part of an athletic training facility, but something that we give more space so that we're not segmented with underclassmen in one place and places for upperclassmen and others and offices in another building. If we can get everything together, and so we're always working towards that. We've had great interest from some of our alumni and boosters to help us with that. Cincinnati Bengals coach Marvin Lewis has expressed an interest in helping us with that. And so one of these days you'll see it. We'll get to that point and pull the trigger. But in the meantime, this facility, guys, is great, and congratulations to you on that. Good job. Let's go for just a second. Let's walk around. We're gonna look at the camera now. I haven't looked at the camera yet. We're on Facebook Live. People may be commenting. Matt or Phil, do you want to give us a tour of this facility and then we'll come back?
Phil, it's you, man.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Well, so this is the back room of the facility. Usually we have this closed during the beginning of the day just to kind of keep all the students towards the front. Usually at 6 o'clock we open this up for the rest of the students, but as you can see, this is the back facility. We're still working on putting some signage up and things like that just to give it more pop and more color back here. A really great facility back here, and we have 12 stations back here itself.
Phil, hold on. Let me stop you right here. So for everybody here, you got to introduce yourself. I did not introduce these guys. Matt, come in.
No, I think you did.
Well, I introduced you by name, but we need a little bit more of a background here.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Phillip, Assistant Director of Academic. I was a student athlete here from 2008 to 2012. I played football. After that, I went on to become the Student Support Graduate Assistant, and then eventually became the Athletic Academic Advisor, and now in my current position as Assistant Director. So just a little bit about my path there.
Matt Steuart, Assistant Athletic Director. I've been here this is my 15th year working at Idaho State in the athletic department. Nancy Graziano brought me in as the GA, same GA Phil had. And I worked in here when it was just 3 rooms, and we've been able to really grow and expand from that, and that's a little about me.
And I think both have undergrad degrees here, master's degree, and multiple.
Yes. Yeah.
3 master's degrees from ISU.
That's right.
Yeah. Master of Masters.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a master of masters. There we go. Okay.
Awesome. So this is the main part. So this is the entrance. And we have 12 computer stations down here in the front row for the students. This is just additional study space here for the students. Students working on laptops, they don't need any computer space, things like that. They're just doing reading. This is the area where we separated the 2 rooms to make this one big room. So this is our main area here. You see here's some of our student athletes here from the sports here, mainly our basketballs right now. This is Haley. She's our current Student Support Graduate Assistant, so she oversees this facility in conjunction with myself and Matt there. So this is the main part of it here. A lot of universities don't have this much space to actually operate, so we were thankful to get this space from housing and for them to be willing to actually work with us to open up the space and things like that. So having 24 computers with about 32 spaces for us to take advantage, and we'll also be opening up another area soon here when we can get construction on that to have another study area for our student athletes as well.
Good. Haley, you want to introduce yourself? You're live on Facebook.
I'm Haley Fair Peterson. Like Phil said, I'm just a graduate assistant for athletics right now, and just getting my master's degree and doing whatever I can for the university.
Did you attend school here?
I did. I just finished a 5-year career playing volleyball, and 1 semester attempt of track, and just proud bingo, I guess you could say.
Excellent. Well, let's go. Let's go sit back down then. But yeah, what a great facility. I mean, they've got such good graphics up on the wall. In the room where we're in, we're still trying to determine if we should do anything else, if we should put any more signage on the walls, what and how we should do it. I think we're open to ideas, Facebook Live, any suggestions. We are open to those things. But we'd like to do something that centers around academics. We're not looking for action shots of our student athletes playing in their respective sports, but maybe more something along the lines of graduation photos,
right,
or some of those things, or service, academic, those sort of things. Matt and Phil, while I've got you here, and we're going to talk about academics for just a minute, besides this location, there have been some critics of the university that have talked about a little bit about our academic standards, and those critics have claimed that our standards are higher than other schools, and that it keeps us from getting high caliber athletes here. I completely disagree with that, and I think you would as well, but can you talk towards that? Matt, can you talk towards that a little bit? Our standards, the excellence that we require, and how we get there?
Yeah, I mean, it happened a few years ago. We created a standard because of the APR issues we were having with football. I'm sure the community remembers that. Definitely the university community remembers that. And we had to fix the problem, and we had to fix it fast. We were 2 years away from football being suspended, and that was, as you remember, we were losing scholarships, we were losing practice time, and it was a real fearful thing. And so what we did was we kind of crunched a lot of data and said, what is the level of student that can be successful at the university? And so we put that in, and we also took into account, what level do we need to be recruiting at to be successful on the field? So we balanced that out, and it's been working amazingly. Our graduation success rate has gone up to 75%. We're graduating, I think, about 96% of the student athletes that complete their eligibility here at ISU, about 96% of them. And I think after last year, Phil and I were just looking before we came over, we had 71 student athletes graduate last fall, last spring, and this past summer that just ended, which we think was like 98, 99% of our students that had completed their eligibility. 3.23 was our GPA for the semester as a department. In the spring semester, we had every single team was above a 3.0 with the exception of football, who was a 2.97. And so we're having a ton of academic success with that, and one of the things that we really haven't seen fall off is the stuff on the field. I mean, since we put that standard in 2010, all of our teams, with the exception of football and men's basketball, had won championships in that time and had, great seasons with softball and soccer. And, our tennis teams both made the tournament last year for the first time. Women hadn't made it since 2002. And so we've seen statistically that there's no real drop off there, and we've been pretty proud of that, and a high caliber of student here. And we just had a meeting earlier where our faculty athletic rep was talking about, she was spreading the word to the faculty about how diverse the athletic department is in terms of academic majors and where students are sitting, engineering and business and all over campus. And one of the misnomers is that all your student athletes are in physical education, and that's just not true. In fact, I believe the percentage was pretty even to some other areas and stuff. And we've got, did she say 16
nursing majors?
16 nursing majors, 14 graduate students that are current student athletes. And so, and when you have that many graduate student athletes, you know that you're doing something right, because you're getting kids to levels that previously they were not getting to. Not only were you having poor graduations, but you weren't having any graduate students, very few. And now we're graduating at a massively increased rate, and we're seeing kids go on and get their master's degrees, or at least get halfway through their master's degrees before they finish their eligibility.
Well, that's huge to see all of those different degrees. I mean, I think she had mentioned of our roughly 320 student athletes, we have about 65 different majors, and I mean, engineering and nursing and business and all of those different things. I mean, there's some really really strong is we currently have a student athlete who's getting a master's degree in chemistry. That chemistry was a tough class for me, and I can't imagine getting a master's degree in it. And yet these students are performing really well. And to have a 96% graduation rate, I want to say that's a little bit more than double that of the general student population on campus. And so we're doing good things there. And that's what we do. And Matt and Phil worked with us to come up with these standards, and it wasn't like we did it within a bottle or a vacuum. We involved the registrar's office and the provost's office and other institutions, and working to make ourselves as best as we can be. So, guys, we appreciate that. These guys work very hard with our student athletes, working on schedules, working on tutoring, working on study habits and skills and those sort of things. We're actually down one staff member who took a job close to home and at a big FBS program back in Florida, and so we're down one staff member, but even with Mike gone, they're doing great things. So guys, thanks so much for all you do, and appreciate your hard work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bengal fans, thank you for joining us today. If you want to come by and check this place out, I'm sure these guys would give some tours, and we'd love to see some of our alumni come down and see what the existing student athletes have. Stop by anytime. I believe all of our teams are on the road this weekend. Cross country's in Montana. They may run in the snow. I can't believe we're getting snow already, or at least Montana is. Football's in Nevada. Volleyball's at a tournament in Boise, and soccer's in Wyoming. So lots of Bengal sports online. Get on isubengals.com and follow the sports, live stats, and video. We appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for joining us today, and go Bengals.